Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dishin Days, where we serve up a full dish of this week's episodes of NBC's #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I am joined by a full gaggle of gals. We have somewhere on the screen.
Yes.
Welcome, back from a little hiatus.
My advanced hiatus. Michael Mattis, I'm here. I'm
here.
queer.
You are.
Actually, don't get used to it because I won't be here next week. But
well, next week you won't be here, but then after that we won't be here. So it's totally fine. You're fine. Yeah. You're fine. You're okay. And of course we have.
Hey guys, Justin Hareld.
And of course, kicking off things with a huge soccer event that none of us knew about.
Hi everyone, I'm Araceli. I'm sporting my jersey. I apologize to any England fans. I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, and _Dishin Days on the Twitter. The @ is always implied. And also, while you're here, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, don't forget, we're on your favorite podcast station. Search Dishin Days and carry us around as you're going about your day, whether you're traveling, riding a bicycle, on the treadmill.
Yep.
You can have Dishin Days in your pocket on your favorite podcast station. And of course,
Tony, how do you know about treadmills?
I do know. Well, I used to know about treadmills. Let me tell you, I don't know about them now.
Neither do I.
And of course, don't forget, buy merch.
Yes.
We are dishindays.threadless.com. Get yourself this lovely sweatshirt, for those cold nights that you might have. Or if you're heading out to the beach this summer, we got beach towels.
Yay!
So make sure you get yourself a beach towel. Hold on, why is my hat so? Okay, got it. Here we go. So make sure you buy merch. All right. Now that I've done all the church announcements, how do you guys feel about this week's episodes of Days?
It was okay.
Oh, wow.
A letdown to last week's. It was like a ramp up, and this week's was okay. I mean, we got some forward movement on some storylines, but just okay for me.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Wait, you enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it. Why not? Yeah.
All right, Sally.
Ooh, I have many thoughts. The heat is not helping my temperament, so I have thoughts.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, I mean, I thought this week was pretty good and very interesting. I felt like we got to know some people a little bit more. Some people are very frustrated, and there's a lot going on with some other stuff. So let's get right into it. It is now time to start
Dishin
Days.
We'll get there
I'm
one
gonna get
day.
it right one day.
You said it and forget it. All right, so let's kick things off with the very first storyline. We have Paulina, Abe, Lonnie, Eli, Chanel, Allie, along with Doug and Julie.
Okay, this one I have thoughts about.
I just realized I don't have my water.
Oh.
You want to get it? We'll talk amongst ourselves.
Hold that thought.
Get it? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Michael. What were you saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when I started Monday and they were like, oh, the Price Town, they named the project. And I was like, it sounds like a fucking Costco. Like, what is she doing? Then it turns out that's exactly what she was doing. I was like,
it's
just
her version of a Costco, yeah.
It just did not like when you think of Paulina and what we know about Paulina and her like to build like a Walmart or a Costco, it's just like what? Like it could be like a high-priced outlet mall. I would accept that or something like that. But to build like it just doesn't fit what we think her business would be,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. There was a disconnect. there for me, and it just made the whole thing kind of fall apart. Like that, everybody being upset, everyone being angry. I was like, I couldn't get past that part. I'm like, she's opening a Costco.
Yeah.
Like Paulina Price, millions of dollars. Of course, then it was later revealed that maybe she didn't have, you know, the financials we thought she did. But yeah, it was a letdown to me.
For me, the story, it's still not connecting. Like the Price, was it Price Town? Is that the?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Price Town. Yeah. Sounds like Sesame Street.
I'm not
like we got Costco on Sesame Street. It would
come
down
to Price Town. I like the backstory we got of Paulina, a little bit more of her history and stuff, but I'm still not connecting to the character and like what, I don't know. I feel like this plot has sort of been like, they're kind of throwing stuff at the wall. I'm not getting like through lines of like her intentions versus like what's happening. Like, I don't know. It's just not connecting fully for me.
Yeah, this is how I kind of feel. I feel like, because how long has the set of the Horton Town Square been there? It's been like about
2012, right? It's almost 10 years.
So maybe. Yeah, so it's almost 10 years, right? So I think they wanted to change it. Mm-hmm. And so I think this was their way of changing it.
Something new.
I do wish that, like, instead of having Paulina come in and build what Michael Mattis refers to as a huge Costco, I wish what she would have done was come in and really did like build it up and revitalize it.
Yeah.
As the Horton Price Town Square. You know what I mean? Like if she wanted to, instead of calling it Price Town and then saying we're working on the name, I'm like, you could have called it, you know, and then, you know, back to last week when Araceli was like, am I watching a comedy? The new plaque was like Tom and Alice, and then Paulina, you know.
Oh my God, no.
So I mean, I don't know. I mean, there could have been options, but I feel like there could have been a better way to justify her changing it, because now she's a villain of Salem.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I don't think the way that, because she was brought in as such a giving person, so for her to then be switched over to like this villainous person who's coming in and being a business shark and ruining the Horton Town Square, I didn't like that for the character of Paulina. So,
Araceli, what are you? Oh God, are you revving up to?
Okay. All right. I like my Walmart and Target as much as the next person. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. You know what? We live and die by the dollar. I need my 5% off. I need my this coupon and that coupon off. I pinch pennies like you wouldn't believe. However,
respect.
People will pay money for quality stuff, for specialized stuff. I'm not buying my ice cream at no discount place. If I have a good ice cream store, I'm going to my good ice cream store. If I got a good bakery, I'm going to my good bakery, because that's just the way I am. And Paulina knows this, and she knows that people will pay, that both business models work. Yes, she's a good businesswoman. Yes, people enjoy their Costco's and their Targets, but she knows that people will pay good money for quality goods. If you can guarantee that this is like something you can't get any place else. Mm-hmm. So I'm just like, you're a businesswoman. You know that both models work well. And especially the idea that she originally pitched would work very well in Salem. Also, like, know your audience. Small towns they want jobs, but they don't want to be bought out. Know your audience. How could she come into this town, meet these people, and think, oh, they're going to jump right on board with this?
Yeah.
I don't think. Wait, are you saying she did think that?
I think she thought that because that's basically what she said in Monday and Tuesday, that she thought that they would just come right on board, and it was better to ask for forgiveness.
Well, I think that's why she was trying to because she got caught. But I don't think that was her. I don't think that was her intention at all. Like, I don't think she thought at all that they were going to go for it. Otherwise, she wouldn't have lied and she wouldn't have lied about it and hid it and made up this other story. She knew they wouldn't go for it, and that's why she had to lie about it.
Yeah, but she still thought that eventually maybe they'd forgive her. And it's like, no. And I know that we moan and groan about, you know, how Julie reacts to certain things, but I was 100% on Julie's side this week. I was right there with her fury to see her grandparents' plaque just hit the floor and just be taken away like it means nothing. Oh man, I was all in on Julie. I was Julie on those days.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Abe. I'm a little sort of like, I feel like duped now because I felt like her message and her story coming in was really powerful and a really interesting way to sort of bring in this character and move the storyline. And then it was like, okay, that was all for nothing. Like, you weren't that interested in BIPOC representation and diversity and all that kind of stuff. And it was kind of like, oh, okay, well, I thought this was something that this character could sort of hang her hat on, so to speak. And yeah, it's like, okay, well, who is this character now? Like, now that essentially, like Tony said, like, you're now like the villainess who's like destroying this, you know, the beloved memories and other specialness or uniqueness of this small town that you're sort of co-opting. And like, you have family here too, who now is not speaking to you, and now your relationship.
And the daughter, she screwed over the way. What I think was the other part of it, like, other than, you know, disgracing, is that the right word? Disgracing, like, the town square that is named after two folks that are so steeped in that town's history. The other part of it was that she let Chanel go as far as she did with Sweet Bits without and you know, just letting her go all that, knowing that it wasn't going to happen.
And then just telling her that she could get a job at the store. What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
I mean, she was like, really, go ahead.
She was like, what, as a cashier?
Like, she really deceived everyone too. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm telling you this. Like, she moved heaven and earth to get Abe to do the rezoning and to sort of call in favors because he believed in her vision, and it was all a scam kind of. So it's like,
it was a scam.
But also at any moment, I'm curious as to why Abe didn't, like, because he's approving this stuff.
Yeah.
At what point did anything seem weird? Like, you don't need this to do this. You know what I mean? Like, like, at what point did something seem sketchy instead of him just being so mesmerized by Paulina? You know, like,
unfortunately, there's ways.
I guess so, and I guess Paulina knew those ways, but
unfortunately, in ways there's ways to not bypass, but like, small towns have different commissions, and there's ways to kind of like back channel things, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree with actually, Patrick TV was reading my mind. He was like, I'm mad that I'm not mad that Sweet Bits is where Gabby Sheik was. I read that too fast, but he is. But remember, Gabby Sheik moved somewhere else because they lost the lease.
Yeah. Gabby Sheik isn't considered a small business.
Yeah, but I was actually upset that that Sweet Bits wasn't going to happen. I was like excited for Sweet Bits. I was excited about the donuts and and I thought, you know, that was going to be added to that whole storyline.
Y'all know how hard it is to find a good donut spot? It's not easy.
Do you know how hard it is to find a good dessert spot? Period. Like, when I want certain things, I have to go to certain places.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I'd rather go to one place and just have my pick of the litter. I also, like, I thought it. So Paulina's story, I know you guys kind of touched on that already, and I think Justin was the one that said that he's not connected to it. There was a part of me that felt like, okay, I kind of understand about just being a woman who was basically not going to submit to someone and depend on someone else. She was going to have her own. I get that. But for me, that doesn't mean becoming a ruthless businesswoman.
Yeah.
I like the fact that in our eyes, she kind of came in as this very knowledgeable, hardworking, knows what she's doing businesswoman. And I wouldn't have minded if, like, Price Enterprises came in and, now you have Price, you have Titan, and Demira. Like, there's three huge businesses that could kind of go toe to toe together.
Yeah.
But it didn't. Her story didn't really justify the crookedness that she was doing and what she was doing. So, for me,
yeah, I'm with you.
Not to the point that she screwed over her own daughter.
Yeah. Can I also mention? Hello, Days of Our Lives and Ron and the writing team. Can Lonnie and Eli have nice things?
Like for a minute,
just for a second. Like, we already had the wedding that didn't go like it should because there were so many interruptions and everything like that. Then they had the babies, and thank God they survived because we were on pins and needles about that. But then they got kidnapped. Then, once they finally got everything together, you got Chanel around there peeking around at Eli's sweet, which lucky her. I mean,
well, we don't blame her for that. We'll just that's that.
At this point, I'm kind of like, can I get the name of the towel company so that I can just keep those around? But you got that, and then you have this exciting anniversary party where now this bomb is dropped that like Paulina was going to do all this stuff, and then you had Theo pop up with his business. I'm like, Lonnie and Eli cannot have nice things.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, don't be. I beg of you. I beg of you. I beg of you. And this is for Paulina and Theo, but for everybody in general, don't show up to somebody's special occasion with your own news.
I know.
It can wait a day.
Yeah.
Come on.
As soon as he said that, I was like, ugh. Like, you're the person.
Don't be that person.
Yeah.
Please don't be that person.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Before we move on with that, can we discuss? Well, first of all, before we get into that, can we discuss how on Monday we had Precious Way, and then Tuesday we had Raven Bowen pop in, literally in the same dress and same look.
I know they didn't even make her change. I was like, just so they could know, because I think but I think if they made her change, everyone would be like, "Who's this girl?" Like they purposely kept her in the same dress so that.
In the same
I'm surprised we didn't get the old school,
same barrettes in her hair. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Say what were you saying?
They sometimes bring back the old school this late. No. Go ahead. Something happened.
Everybody's
what's like,
this is hold delay. Wait, because y'all were like talking over each other. We couldn't hear each other. So one at a time. Justin, you know.
No, I'm saying I'm surprised sometimes. They do the old school, like this role is now being played by.
Yeah,
it's usually now it's more like a joke, but I'm surprised we didn't get that from Ron with the comedy lately.
Michael Mattis, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just saying, like, they had her in the same dress and the same barrettes and everything.
Barrettes.
The barrettes.
Is that what they're called?
Yes.
Yeah.
Barrettes,
No, I'm just laughing. Yeah,
that's what they're called. What did you guys think of? I mean, because we had an episode to really assess. What do you think about the new Chanel?
I like her.
Yeah.
She seemed fine. I didn't really get an impression because her whole scene was with Allie, and it was really just her being upset. So
no, but I think that was the point. That to make sure that she had very good chemistry with Allie.
Mm-hmm.
So it felt seamless, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It felt seamless, and then they gave her this new girl. They came in and was like, okay, your very first scene, you're gonna be crying, and then in your last scene of your first day, you're gonna have a same-sex kiss.
Right.
It's like
that's a lot to throw at somebody.
It's a lot to throw at a girl when she probably also had like 5 more episodes to shoot that day.
Yeah.
So I think she did great, and I think she fits the part, and so far we've like Justin said, we've only seen her with Lindsay Arnold, but those two had good chemistry together. So I'm anxious to see more of how she, with the rest of her rest of the family.
Yeah.
And she's pretty, like Marlon said.
It's gonna take. It's almost like we were just getting used to Chanel. And then as soon as like we did, it was like there's new Chanel.
And Precious really made like an impression.
Yes.
So and it is a little jarring, but I do think that Raven, is promising.
Yeah. And I totally forgot what I was just about to say about the whole thing. But yeah, I think it's just going to take some getting used to, because it was kind of a jolt. It was literally like on the way to Allie's apartment from Horton Town Square. She like, I guess she popped by the set of like Family Matters and ran into Steve Urkel and like got into the little machine, and then she came out as like new Raven. I mean, new Chanel.
New Chanel.
But I think it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see how new Chanel plays out. Let's talk about this kiss.
Oh my God, what a throwback.
Right. So here's the thing. I don't know. Yeah, like I was just kind of like, oh, okay, y'all just gonna go around kissing now, because there's been this thing ever since the kiss happened, and then I thought that we settled the kiss, but then now we're back to the kiss.
Yeah.
I will say what I don't like is a lot of the fans not liking it and feeling like, once again, there's like this queer gay agenda that's being shoved in their face.
Yeah.
And it's definitely, not that. I think that they are about to explore a very this generation type of situation. And I don't even know if like I don't even know if they're gonna head down this thing of like having a triangle.
Yeah, it's so confusing. I feel like at first it was like, okay, are they leading with Chanel having the crush on Allie, and that gets in the way for a relationship with Trip? And then it's like we talked about, would they dare do a thruple? And then it's like, what are we getting here? Are we getting a coming out? Are we getting a polyamory situation? Like what? Yeah, I don't know.
It's I'm curious to see how that plays out. Hello, James Law Jr.
Hey.
I'm curious to see how it all plays out, because I feel like even Trip kind of looks at them and go, "There's something," but I don't know.
Yeah. I've been on the fence so much.
Mm-hmm.
This, I think, was the turning point, because it happened so organically. It happened just like two people who are just so comfortable with each other, who are just, they know what each other needs, kind of a thing. And that, I think, is a little different, where Allie knew that her friend would need a cocktail, and we're just gonna sit, we're gonna watch fireworks, and that's something that you just know with someone you're just so comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And months later, I still don't think that Allie and Trip are there. So this was kind of a turning point for me as a viewer, saying, okay, let's really run with this, because that happened so organically. It was so well written and so well done by Raven Bolins and Lindsay Arnold. Let's run with this now. Let's see where this goes. I'm all in on this. because I think that they have good chemistry, and I'm willing to take the ride on this.
I mean,
also,
I am too.
Haters, I have a Kesha song for you. All the haters that I don't want to hear, I have a Kesha song for you.
Well, listen, we can't highlight that. We got to get back to rape and murder and all the other feel good things that are on the show that people would rather watch. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think at the end of the day, it's going to be interesting watching them explore this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much that storyline, right?
Yeah.
Let's move on to we started touching on it. Ben, Ciara, Theo, and Marlena. Well, let me create a new banner for this.
You guys go first.
What do you think of Ciara and Theo being engaged?
Silly. I mean,
yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's the best word. Like, I was trying to think of a and silly is the yes.
And I like Theo.
Yeah, exactly. No, me too. I'm not anti-Theo, but this whole thing this week with Ben, Ciara, and Theo, I'm just no. And then Ciara and Ben being so like nasty to each other, I'm like, no, sorry.
The most interesting part with me is like seeing everyone's reaction in the sense that they also love Theo, and if this Ben situation hadn't happened, they'd be sort of like jumping and rejoicing over the fact of Ciara and Theo together and they're engaged and childhood friends and blah blah blah. Look what it blossomed into. But the fact that this Ben, the memory loss, and that Ben sort of looming, it's like they want to be happy for them, but they're also like, oh Theo, it's like don't put your don't get involved in this, don't put yourself in this, you're in for a world of hurt kind of a thing.
Yeah, I felt like, let me tell you who I felt like. I felt like Robert Scott Wilson, Ben, when he was just finally like, look, I know how she is. Let me talk to you.
Yeah.
This is how it's going to go down. And are you sure that's how you want it to go down? Because to be honest, here's the thing. It's only been a few months, right? If I were Theo, if he proposed, I wouldn't have. Because it's only been a few months.
Yeah, exactly.
You're hoping on a wing and a prayer that as the doctor said, as the months go by and she's not remembering, then it's a good chance that she won't remember. Well, let's not forget that she hopped on a plane, went to Johannesburg with you to avoid even having to try to remember. So now that she's back and she's looking at Ben, looking like he do. I feel like there's something that's starting to trigger, and she doesn't want to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
But she did, and you know what I did when she remembered? This is literally me. Aha!
Well, I was like Ben when she was like, you, Vincent, Rose, and she was like, oh. And then he's like, well, everyone's been telling me that. That's why. And I'm like,
yeah.
No one else is in that room.
And just like her sitting there remembering Ben hollering for her, I'm like, child, here we go. Your memories are starting to come back. You're gonna be standing there at the altar looking at Theo, and then then Ben comes bursting in and be like, but I remember, like something like something like that is gonna end.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of like, it's like, don't. The thing is that, like, I get it. I justified it last week when I was like, I get why she left. Because it was a lot of pressure for her to remember. So she just wanted to escape. And I was like, maybe her memory will come back. Well, then they don't come back. And not only to be like, surprise Eli and Lonnie, but also, let me stop by Ben's house real quick and be like, sign these divorce papers. And then being like, oh, I'm taking you to court. I'm like,
yeah.
And then they're both trying to get Justin. Oh, you can't have it. I want Justin.
First of all,
I'm like, good luck to both of you. Like, Did not feel it.
When Ciara went to Sean and Belle's, first of all, I didn't like the fact that she kept making fire starter jokes to Claire.
No. Yeah.
I'm like, because if I was Claire, I would have clapped back and been like, bitch, it's not my fault you don't remember. We haven't moved past that.
Exactly.
So when you get your memory back, then you can say all your shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Until then, amnesia girl, I got all the memory. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was all that, and then but when she said, "Fine, Belle doesn't have to represent me. There's plenty of other lawyers in here." I'm like, girl, the only other lawyer in Salem is Justin.
Right, I know.
What do you mean there's plenty of other lawyers? If you ain't got Belle, then, you know, there's only Justin.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Only one of y'all can have either one.
Mm-hmm.
So either Ben is going to say, you know what, you have Justin. Let me go talk to Belle since Belle don't want to represent you.
Yeah.
What a mess.
What a mess. Yeah. What a hot mess.
Lawler CL says EJ is a lawyer, but no.
I thought of that too, but I think he's busy.
Oh God, he won't.
Yeah.
No, he won't.
Yeah, he's not interested in doing a divorce case.
He doesn't do divorce court.
Yeah, not even for Theo. He's too busy. He's too busy right now.
Yeah.
You can tell from me sipping my tea that I am showing immense restraint.
Don't show restraint.
Story.
Say what you gotta say.
If I said what I really want to say, we'd be here in a curse fest right now.
Well, I mean,
I would say I was Claire this week, but Claire I think showed immense restraint, whereas I would have been like grabbing people by the hair, like, child, I'm sorry, you said what to me now? Oh my God. I wanted to sock Ciara so many times. Again, I'm with Claire. It's like, I want this Ciara gone. Go away. Get your memory back, because this Ciara is a child. She's a petulant little child who doesn't, because she doesn't remember. It's not just, I say this. It's not just about Ben. She is not remembering 3-4 years of her life. She did a lot in that time. She grew up. I'm sorry. She grew up in that time. She grew up. She let go of old grudges. She became a woman in her own right. And now we are getting a petulant little whiny child who says, I want this and I want that and I know what I want and you don't know me. And I'm just like, oh my God. No. If your brother, who has known you your whole life, says, and has known your fiance his whole life too, says, this is not the guy for you, pay attention.
So aggressive with the clap.
I told you I had thoughts. Ooh, I was screaming something fierce at the TV.
Listen, I'm here on the journey, but I feel like now that they are in Salem and not in their Johannesburg bubble, I think they're both starting to wonder if this is the right decision. Because even Doug and Julie, remember, Julie did not like Ben.
Do you know how hard it was for Julie to come on board? Julie Williams to get on board with this marriage.
And I'm glad that Sean made that point too, that she's the one who like convinced everyone to finally accept Ben and to like, and now we're sort of rooting for him essentially against you. And it's just this weird. No one is overjoyed. I mean, Lonnie did like say, oh, congratulations. But everybody else was like, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody, nobody, if nobody in your life is saying, hey, yippee, I'm 100% on board, there's something wrong.
Well, because it's also too fast. Because they just left a hop, skip, and a moment ago.
Yeah.
Like, and before she crashed her motorcycle, they weren't in like a serious relationship. Mm-hmm. So for them to be engaged, it kind of feels like, Okay. Here we go. Role play. Justin. You are Theo.
Okay.
Right? You're announcing that you're engaged to Ciara. And I want myself, Araceli, and Michael Mattis to show the reactions of how people in Salem probably felt. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Ciara and I are engaged.
Are you out of your goddamn mind?
The eyes, Tina.
Yay!
Cody's eyes went one way, Michael's went the other. It was like...
End scene. Yeah, that's how it felt. It felt very much like people like didn't want to say anything bad because Theo is so nice, but they wanted to say what Araceli said,
like, huh? What?
Like, I know you're out of your mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is about to be a hot mess.
Yeah.
Do we think that Theo and Ciara will get all the way to the altar before we get some kind of resolution on this, or do we? Well, I guess they'd have to get Ben and Ciara would have to get divorced.
Oh, that's right.
So,
yeah.
do we think that? Do we think that the divorce will actually happen before they reunite? Do you think they're gonna make us go through this whole thing? They get divorced. Theo and Ciara make it to the altar, and then it happens.
I don't think Ben is signing.
Seems like a lot.
Papers.
I don't think they'll get to an altar, but we may have a wrinkle in that Ben and Ciara are divorced before she remembers. That could be a way of like keeping them apart a little bit. So as when she does get her memory back, they're not technically married.
I honestly, I don't think the divorce is going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the other thing is that divorces and marriages happen in Salem quickly because people want them to happen quickly. If you really want to put up a fight for a divorce, you can drag it out for as long as you want. And I'm counting on that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I would like to point out, I don't know how many pages that divorce petition was, but when he ripped it up and was trying to throw it in the trash, I was like, what, did he tear up a book?
As he gingerly sprinkled it.
Right. Because it was almost like this. Like he went to like sprinkle it, right? And he had this.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it cut and then it was like I was like, I know the divorce thing ain't that many pages. We had already that hair hers.
Oh god. Too funny.
So I don't know. Tim Rawls said, I don't think they have very many.
I know, right? It's like
that's just true. Actually,
the motorcycle is the bone of contention.
I mean, what are they gonna fight over? That twin bed that they used to sleep in? Lord have mercy.
Oh man.
And then Ben and Marlena had a chat. I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't pay that much attention. I just heard the part where she said, I do understand how you feel. And I was like, okay.
Marlena didn't stop fighting for John. She didn't push him, but she kind of stuck to his side like glue and said, I'll be here when you remember.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always be here.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was that storyline, honey. Let's move on to Sami, EJ, Jake, Gabby, Lucas, and Nicole. Can I just tell you, I like the scene where both Roman and Kate basically looked at Lucas and said, your face tells everything.
The part of Roman kind of being like the peanut
behind the bar.
Like I pictured him as like the one man of the two Muppets that are sitting up in giving them nasty opinions. I appreciated that because like, you don't, Lucas, you do, Kate, you do. I was like, yeah, Roman knows. It's kind of interesting that scene. Like, it was basically reminding us that Roman knows those two really almost better than they know themselves.
Yeah.
And there's still like a friend. It's I don't want to call it odd, but with especially with Kate's history with Roman's daughter, Sami, that they're just like chums, you know? It's an interesting little dynamic.
It was a very like family scene. Like two parents, son, their son's trying to be slick and they're like, we know who you are. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, it was a very family oriented, which was nice. The highlight for me was I feel like we got old Gabby back this week. And I've been saying for the past few months, I haven't liked the way they've sort of taken her character to the extreme, but I felt like we got the old Gabby, someone who's somewhere in the middle, someone who's nuanced, who still has her anger and her temperament, but like can recognize her relationships with people.
Yeah. And people would always want, and that came up, they brought up, you know, the Nick storyline again this week because Sami put herself on the line, and people this past year were like really upset because Kate was a part of that, and Kate put herself on the line for Gabby. But the only way to me to justify that reaction would be that one, Kate had something that Gabby wanted, and two, Kate kind of went along begrudgingly with the whole thing. Whereas Sami, from the moment that the real Nick was revealed, and I'm talking about like before Ariana was born, that period where Nick was trying to keep Will and Sunny away from Ariana before she was even born, Sami was all in. She was all in. And they were also trying to protect Gabby at that point, because at that point, if you remember, Gabby had no idea who the real Nick was. So it was this whole thing of how Sami really has been there from day one to protect Gabby and Ariana. And I feel like in Gabby's mind, that was the justification for like, I'm all in on protecting Sami, and Kate can take care of herself.
Yeah. I thought it was very like noble of Gabby to, you know, help Sami. At first, I thought of the Nick thing, but then I was also like, ooh, that conversation on the step really helped too.
Yeah.
But I remember liking Gabby, Kate, and Sami.
Yeah.
The three of them working together. Yeah.
I hate that Gabby and Kate are the way that they are right now.
I do too.
But I still like that Sami is like, you know, this is, you know, the grandmother of you know, Ariana, and she helped me with Nick. Like I can't have a part in destroying her marriage.
Yeah.
Right.
But let's talk about a couple of things. Because they are dragging this out. Number one.
A little bit.
Kristen could have wrote it in an email, sent it in a text message.
It's true.
Or called him like she did this week.
Called him to say, "Did you get my letter?"
I know. I know.
Who called to say, "Did you get my letter?" Like, if you're gonna
very poor
call,
communication skills here.
Well, if you're gonna call, just be like, "Hey, you know, Sami and Lucas knocked boots, right? Gotta go. The call. Quick.
Gotta go back."
Like, I was like, who does that? Who called? Hey, Michael Maddis, did you get my email?
Yeah, I didn't read it though.
But why would I call? Did you get the email? For my last email. Like, it was like, that was
for my last email.
That was just crazy. Yeah. But then the fact that she went over to get a piece of mail and that mail was stuck to it, and then I was just like,
I get what they were doing, but then Sami took forever to burn the damn thing.
When
this letter is burnt, no one will know. I'm like, burn the damn thing.
The match almost burned her hand.
I'm like, you're gonna burn yourself before you burn the letter.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I opened this bag of sage because I was going to use it as my candle. I'm glad I didn't. But here's the thing. Like, anytime someone lights a match, right? You're not trying to hold on to the match. You
Because lighting a fire in the middle of the summer is not at all suspicious.
I know, right?
Right. But then also the other thing is, I'm like, you're going to burn it. So then people are going to be suspicious as to what you're burning in the summer. Couldn't you just have ripped it up? Can you have like said, you know what? I got to run to the store real quick. Went to like the Horton Town Square that's being destroyed anyway, and just like dropped the letter off in the trash can, like ripped it up and dropped. Like, no one's going to see it there. Like, there were so many things she could have did with the letter. And then, of course, guess what? here comes Mr. Lukey Luke. Just
So
and then he takes it. So
it's got to be EJ, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm thinking EJ.
I mean, that's who I mean, well, I was gonna let's see, who do you think took the
But again, maybe that's what they want us to think, and it's someone who still lives there. I've lost track.
Everyone lives there. Who doesn't live there?
Okay, so
who lives there? Who lives there that would be relevant to that situation?
Sami, EJ, Chad, the kids, Tony and Anna.
Oh, maybe it was. Oh,
it wouldn't be Anna.
I don't think Anna wouldn't care that much, even if she.
Yeah,
she
I mean, in all I'm just trying to think of like implausibility. Who would do that and be curious? Oh, Chad would actually be an interesting choice.
Oh, as like to use against EJ for control. Is that?
Yeah, but I don't think he would.
Oh, what about someone?
Maybe.
Sorry, go ahead. What?
So, I think they meant to say.
Hareld. I was like, oh, who's Howard?
No one's seen Hareld.
So people are mentioning Johnny, that maybe it was Johnny, and Johnny called her.
Yeah.
I don't think Johnny came in and physically got the letter because he would have had to still be on the phone.
Yeah, he was on the phone with her when she.
I still think it's EJ because what could have happened is Sami got distracted with a call from Johnny. Maybe EJ could have told Johnny to call his mom and check in with her.
No, I don't think it was that. I think this is what happened. She thought EJ was knocked out asleep, right? Because she did the EJ, and then like ran out of bed, right?
Okay.
And then went down, and then like it was like this in one scene, and then in another scene it was just like this. And so I think she went to burn it, but then I think EJ woke up, heard her, saw her. And then was kind of because she's been acting suspicious all day, and they've had sex not once but twice that day. So he was like, "Let me just check on this." So I feel like it might be EJ.
It's a good,
makes the most sense.
Yeah, and she was on the phone with Johnny, so it's not Johnny. So there we go.
Yeah, I don't know who else it would be.
Oh, this letter though, honey. That's. I
was like, this is too amateur for Sami. She would not have gone through. And even when EJ came in, I'm like, girl, say like I want to get us a snack or like she wouldn't have gone up to the room with him and left the letter there that sticks out like a sore thumb. It's a white letter and what a brown fireplace. Like it was too amateur for Sami.
Yes, but also, can we give a hand to Nicole, who has become the perfect Salem PD private eye detective, who has masterfully put together that they did probably sleep together, who masterfully stole Brady's phone, then gave it to Theo so that he could crack the code so that she could call Kristen to find out the tea. And here's the thing, right? This is what I wanted to say. Sami should count her blessings because God has been on her side. Because her whole world could have crumbled had Gabby not been her saving grace, right?
Oh, yeah.
She should take that as a blessing and don't block that blessing and go to Nicole and say, you know what? You ain't do nothing, girl. And leave that alone. Because
she just won't stop.
She won't let that go. She keeps digging and digging. And I'm like, girl, you can't dig when your closet is full of the same skeleton.
Not even the thought of self-preservation will save Sami.
Listen, if I was Sami in that moment when I got that letter back, I would have, first of all, went ahead and lit it on fire. And then I would have said, God, please forgive me for what I was trying to do to Nicole. It's null and void. I've washed my hands with it. If she did it with Xander, I understand because I was just in the same position.
Yeah.
Just keep it cute, God. Amen. Like that's what I would have did. Because Nicole is hot on the chase, and when she was interrogating Lucas, I was like, you went to the right source because Lucas is about to give you all the tea without even telling you the tea.
Yeah.
Oh God, he's such a bad liar.
Horrible.
God.
Horrible.
He used to be at least a decent schemer. He's never been a good liar, but he used to be at least a decent schemer.
Exactly.
He's been out of the scheming game too long.
He done fell off.
Yeah.
Which I think that's why they did the whole point of like of saying you're bad at like you know
you have no poker face.
Yeah, no poker face because he doesn't, and he clearly doesn't.
Antarctica.
I mean, just like Nicole laying that whole thing out for Xander later on is just like, yeah, it sounds as stupid as it actually was.
Yeah.
It's bananas. All right. Well, that was that storyline. And before we get into tidbits, we just want to remind you guys to please make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. We are Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, and _Dishin Days on Twitter. Also, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are very close to 2,000 subscribers, and we want more. So make sure you do that. And of course, don't forget, we got merchandise, honey. Go on over there and get yourself some merchandise, honey. Go ahead and get yourself a mug or a beach towel or a t-shirt, something. And hopefully more to come. All righty. Let's move on to some tidbits. We're going to start with Xander, Gwen, and Jack. Also, 2 other horrible liars.
How do these people get far with scheming? They have no poker face. They have no chill. They have
no chill. Yeah.
Like instead of Xander coming in and trying to be like, hey, Jack.
I know, right?
Don't talk to her like that. He should have walked in and like this is like if I was Xander, I'm doing a lot of role playing today because I feel like it. I would have did this. Hey guys, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Scene. All of these clips can be used for Get Tony on Days of Our Lives. But the fact that he becomes so defensive, and then of course Jack mentions, well, with my reporter skills, I feel like you two are hiding something.
You don't need to be a reporter to see that these two are just terrible liars.
Horrible.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, well.
Good luck trying to cover up this murder that didn't need to be. I'm sorry.
I know, right?
Good luck covering up this death that didn't even need to be covered up. Like you could have just said, he came over here. They could have made the lie up as to why he was there.
Like he came over to check on me, or I had a pain. He was in the neighborhood. Like it was so unnecessary.
Something. Yeah. And then all of a sudden he clutched onto his heart. He collapsed and he died. Like that's it. Nobody else would have known anything else. But here y'all go watching cartoons, dumping folks in the river. I'm like,
what, Xander with rock? What was that? He put rocks in the pockets. I was like, Xander, really? Rocks in the pockets.
Rocks in the pockets.
that
I was gonna weigh him down forever.
That clearly did not help. What do we think of a Xander Gwen ship?
I'm here for it.
I like it if they stay out of jail.
I'm here for it. I just want them to be better liars. If they're gonna be like a scheming couple, they just need to be better at it and not like Justin said, like a cartoon. Like that's that.
You know, it's so weird. I think that in a really twisted way, Jack might approve.
Oh, I think so.
I feel like the Jack we're getting now, he'd be like, okay. I feel like so much is going over Jack's head. And he's falling for so much shit and just basically saying yes to everybody that the Jack we're getting now wouldn't faze him. Like he'd be like, okay. That's seriously what I feel like his reaction would be. Okay.
I just I don't know. Like
he needs Jennifer back.
Yeah. Not that.
All right. Well, that was that.
That house was intense.
Let's move on to Philip, Chloe, and Brady.
Ah.
Yeah.
I don't even care anymore. I'm so over these three. I'm so over it. I'm so over it. This is like, again, I feel like I'm in a time machine. I feel like I did when I found out Jen and Ben were back together. I'm like, am I in 2000? What the heck is going on here? We're still on this?
Yeah.
Still. Ugh.
Anybody
It's
else?
been 20 years, and it also feels like it's been 20 years.
Yeah, when the prospect came up of Brady and Chloe, I was kind of getting into it, and then Philip came back, and then it was like, now she's into Philip really, or is she running from? Like, I don't know what's going on with them, with the three of them. I'm not that invested.
Philip needs
Neither
to
am I.
No.
Yeah.
What I want, I really, 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 really want, give Philip a new woman.
Yeah.
Because maybe not since, oh God, maybe Melanie, like 10 years ago, have I thought that he was remotely invested in one woman who wasn't Chloe. And Chloe still interrupted that storyline. I mean, that the whole relationship has so many problems, but at least he was invested in someone other than Chloe, which was what I was very happy about.
Yeah.
Oh, someone said Teresa. Teresa should come back.
I would support her coming back. I just don't see that pairing. He needs a brand new woman.
Who does?
Philip.
I think they all need new pairings. Like, give Chloe a new guy, give Philip someone new, Brady someone new.
When they kissed, right? Both were awkward. Do you know why? Because when Chloe and Brady kissed, Chloe was like, "What I'm doing is wrong." And I didn't see sparks. With Philip and Chloe, it just felt like I'm not feeling it there either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing here.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't know. Someone says Chloe and Rex.
Please don't bring Rex back.
I like Rex.
No offense to Kyle Lauder. Kyle Lauder's great, but
Kyle Lauder is great, but he was great as Brady, and they had chemistry as Chloe and Brady 1.0. Rex, no.
Rex is just terrible.
I wouldn't be mad at that pair. I mean, of course, we're getting the rehash of them as younger people just now with a different character, but I wouldn't be mad at that. We know they have chemistry.
I don't know.
We are, for the first time, I think we are just not, not to be fans of open arms, but we are not vested in this triangle at all.
No. You know why? Because it's not 2000.
If you're going to be vested in a triangle, we vote for Trip, Allie, and
Allie. No. Yep.
That's where we are. Yes. Give me a new
triangle, not a 20-year-old one.
Well, speaking of triangles, Rafe, Nicole, and Ava. Here's the thing. I suddenly am not feeling Rafe and Ava. I don't know how I feel about Rafe and Nicole. But the push and pull between them, I'm like...
I'm still not a fan of Rafe and Nicole. I keep them as friends. I kind of like Rafe with Ava. But I now we've got this introduction that Rafe now, his feelings are now overwhelming to the fact that we're getting his subconscious is playing with him now. That just came out of nowhere. I felt like it was maybe we got a few looks from them when they have awkward scenes together, but now he's dreaming of sex dreams with her, and I like him with Ava. I like that dynamic too of the police commissioner, her trying to. Although I need Ava to do something else other than cook and be this domesticated housewife for Rafe. I'm not liking that dynamic. I feel like they need to give her something to do.
Please.
Yeah.
You know what? I prefer Rafe with Duke. I think that would be a lovely relationship. I think that he has some great advice, a little taunting. I love it. I love it. No, I think the Rafe Ava love wasn't developed enough before they then tried to insert Nicole.
Yeah.
I think if they kind of took their time with that a little bit more, I think maybe we would be more invested in one couple or the other. I just don't see Rafe right now with either one of them, because now that his attention is on Nicole as well, I'm just like, but now you're not giving Ava your undivided. So now I can't even invest in this because you're torn. But it seems like you really would rather be with Nicole, but Nicole is married.
It feels
so
like
how is she even in this equation?
It feels like Rafe is just so indecisive right now. And if he's indecisive about both of these women, then drop them both.
You know what he's not indecisive about? Jake and Gabby living there.
Oh.
Someone says, TMM says, Rafe needs a new fresh woman. I did like Ava with Rafe, but no more. You know who would have been great for Rafe? What was that girl's name that popped on for a hot minute on Days? I think her name started with an X. She was like a Latin girl that was on the show. I think her. I want to say her name started with an X. She was a beautiful woman.
Oh, the one that was the mom's friend, the older woman.
Yes.
They tried. It was like they were kind of chem testing them. I forget her name. Yeah. When they were building the Hernandez family, they had the mom's friend come, and Rafe and her almost started something. Yeah, I know exactly.
God.
Yeah, I'm forgetting her name though.
A long time ago.
Yeah,
she would have been great. Her and Rafe could have been married by now, living in that house, and and just been fine. Her name wasn't Selena. Oh, yes, she was the family friend.
Yeah.
Yes, everyone remembers that, but no one remembers her.
I know it was her name, but
that would have been great. But who am I?
One thing that struck me, I just popped into my head when I liked Rafe defending Kate, and that popped into my head again of like, oh, I wouldn't be mad of a retread of them. Those two, maybe.
Rafe and Kate?
Yeah, like around two of them.
They were just kind of bang buddies though, right?
Yeah. Not much.
They weren't really a couple.
They were, but
they
also
enjoyed each other's. But then they did, but it did lead to Rafe almost getting his cut off with Stefano.
But it was also that thing of like, I think Rafe is never willing to admit that he likes complicated women. So even when him and Kate ended, and he was with what's her name, Jordan, he ended up cheating on Jordan with Kate because he wanted, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't be mad at another go around for them too.
All right, well, moving on.
Kate is the Blanche Devereaux of Salem. Thank you for being a friend.
Not Kate is the Blanche Devereaux of Salem.
Oh my gosh.
Mess.
That's hilarious.
Somebody tweet that to Lauren Koslow.
So we have right. So we have Kate and Roman, which I think we kind of covered.
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah.
They know it's what.
Yeah, They tried to rekindle, it looks like, but I don't know about that.
I don't see that.
And then John and Marlena, I noticed in the beginning of the week they had something, I think, but I don't know. Oh, he came to see her because she had to work 4th of July.
Okay.
It was really more about Paulina. It was like
exposition for Paulina. Getting some historical context on her character through Marlena's eyes and why Marlena was so. That's the most interesting thing we got out of it, because you can't get drunk off of mocktails.
This is true. They were cute mocktails, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
there were no peach martini.
Inside joke, Ciara.
Yes, definitely that. All right, so that was your week of days, and it's now time for our favorite part of the show, which are our segments. And we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's Official 3 Snaps Award.
Oh, snap.
All right. So, oh my God, so many things. All right. So my 3 Snaps award goes to Robert Scott Wilson. And this is why. Because he gave an amazing performance during his interactions with Ciara and Theo, right? But I feel like the tone in his voice was very much, listen, you two. I'm tired of this. Listen, I know you. I know how you think. I know how you move. Theo, you don't. So let me talk to you, bud. She's eventually going to remember. Are you okay with this? Because let me tell you what's not about to happen. Those divorce papers. Ciara, you come back when you remember stuff. Not holding you hostage. Have yourself a good day. I was like, sometimes you just got to be like, I'm tired of I'm going to keep fighting, but today I'm tired of going round and round with you. So Robert Scott Wilson, you get Tony's official 3 Snaps award.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. Yes, let's do that. All right. And now it's time for
Caption That.
All right. This week's Caption That photo comes courtesy of Gwen and Xander and their little, whatever you want to call it, in the living room, their conversation. And this week's caption goes to Claire at Hourglass Fan on Twitter with her caption, "Get your hands off my threads. Wardrobe needs this jacket for Jake's next scene."
That was a good one.
Yeah, it's cute.
And that was
Caption That.
And now it's time for those were the days.
Hey guys, this week's segment, Those Were the Days, I'm taking you back to July 7th, 2003, where the very famous scene of Lucas and Cassie finding out they're siblings. Those of you that remember, it was because Rex rushed in and stopped them from completely having sex with each other. This was probably, at the time, the only other woman that Lucas had sexual chemistry with besides Sami. So this was definitely a big letdown show, as we'll say. So yes, taking you back to July 7th, 2003, where Lucas and Cassie found out that they were siblings.
Right before that they had done did it.
Yeah.
And those were the days. And now it's time for It's a Gift.
So this week's It's a Gift, in honor of the outgoing Chanel. You know that frustration you have, Precious Way, round of applause, we will miss you. There's that frustrated feeling that when you're frustrated and you're disappointed and you're off in the corner and everybody else is yelling, everybody else is screaming, and you're just like building. Yeah. So, Precious Way, this is my tribute to you, your frustration.
And that was It's a Gift.
It's a gift.
And now it's time for some news and gossip.
Yes. To start off, we want, all of us here at Dishin Days want to give very heartfelt condolences and prayers to the family and friends of Felice Sampler. For those of you who may remember, she played Renee Demira on the show. I believe she started in 1981 to like 83, 84-ish. But she was a big part of the show. She was a big part of sort of reintroducing or expanding the Demiras at the time with Tony, and had a lot of storylines and was a rival with Anna for Tony, ironically, as there are kind of siblings, because Tony isn't really Stefano's, but whatever. But yeah, so we want to give a special, some definitely heartfelt condolences and prayers to the family and friends of Felice Sampler.
And you can check out an interview that James Lott Jr. and Mark J. Freeman did with Phyllis Sampler. Amazing interview, because not only was she on Days of Our Lives, but she was also a voiceover actress. Yes. So make sure you check that interview out.
Mm-hmm. And next up, for those of you missing Days on NBC.com, you can actually find it now streaming exclusively for free on the Peacock app. Yeah, how are you guys? I'm kind of.
I had to watch it. I had to watch it one day on Peacock, and there were only 45-second commercial breaks. I was all for it.
That was the big thing for me. I was like, oh, I got to watch it on my phone, but I was like, okay, it's the commercial breaks are much smaller, so that was a little bit of a highlight.
Why did you have to watch it on your phone?
I was
Just a song about. No, Peacock's good stuff though, so it's worth it, I think.
Yeah. So yes, you can stream Days exclusively on Peacock. Unfortunately, you won't be able to find it on NBC.com anymore. But yeah, check it on Peacock for free. Moving forward, we have a few congratulations to send out. We had a couple of engagements in the Days of Our Lives family. First up was Ari Zucker and Sean Christian, who you know as Nicole and Daniel. Yes, they got engaged. It's so funny when this happened. When I saw the post, I actually thought it was like a anniversary thing because for some reason I just assumed they were engaged. I don't know where I got that from. Maybe it's because
they've been together a while.
And I was surprised. I thought it was like a flashback or throwback or something. And so congratulations to them, and a big congratulations to Lucas Adams and his new fiance now, Shelby. Yeah. They got engaged. Yeah, such a great pick. I love that. Yeah.
Outdoors, everybody's getting engaged outdoors now.
Say everybody what?
They both got engaged outdoors.
Oh yeah,
look at their profiles. The Sean Christian proposed like on a boat or something.
Yeah,
and then,
I mean, let's just
in the woods. It's all very beautiful.
Let's just point out the fact that some people are getting engaged and having babies, and some people are over here just eating cake.
Or Cracker Barrel.
Both are valid. Yeah.
And Shelby is adorable. I remember we met her. I think when Lucas first joined the show, we met her at a Day of Days, and we all like went to Margaritaville, and we sat and chatted and stuff. Yeah, so lovely, and so is Lucas. Nice. So congratulations to them.
Yeah,
I've known Ari and Sean for forever, and so very happy for them as well.
Good news.
Yeah. Yes, and another big congratulations. Actually, Brian Datillo did this really sweet tribute kind of to his wife, Elizabeth, on his social media Instagram account. She actually just finished or completed her round of treatment for cancer. So he did a big sort of, I love you, congratulations, we did it kind of post, which is really sweet. I encourage you to go check out. So a big congratulations to Brian and especially his wife, Elizabeth.
I wish I had a bell. Man,
I know.
My bell. Yeah.
Ring the bell. You ring the bell sort of when you've completed. So yeah, you can go check that out on his Instagram account. Moving forward, next one, we have some old Days alum, Miss Marilyn McCoo and her husband, Billy Davis. They are they are featured in the new documentary Summer of Soul, which is getting amazing critical acclaim. You can check it out on Hulu. This is also the one that Questlove has been doing, and it's just been getting very sort of rave reviews how good it is. It chronicles the famous concert, I think in Brooklyn in '69, called Summer of Soul. So you can both check them out there. They're featured in the documentary on Hulu as we speak.
Perfect. I would have had the photo for that, but I forgot to download it.
That's okay. Don't worry. Next up, our friends of the show, Martha Madison. She and her best friend Lily have posed this challenge, this 30-day challenge, basically of sort of wanting to get back to sort of presenting and appreciating your authentic self. So they're kind of posed this 30-day challenge of no filters. So what they're asking is women, and I believe men too, but I've mostly seen women doing it, to post themselves, no filters, possibly makeup free, just going about their day, whether you're sitting in your cubicle, whether you're getting your kids ready for school, whether you're jogging, and when you do the post, or post a couple times during the day and use the hashtags filter free, or hashtag 4real, number 4real, or no filter needed. And Martha has been highlighting a lot of those posts on her own page and stories. So yeah, go check them out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Last but not least, we want to highlight a fan event coming up through Starstruck Fan Events. This one is going to be the weekend of October 9th through 10th, 2021 this year. This one's going to take place in Atlanta, Georgia. Yes, this will take place in Atlanta, Georgia. And it's going to be sort of a Halloween theme. In attendance, Eric Matzov, Nadia Bjorlin, Sean Christian, Marie Wilson, who we haven't seen in a while, Paul Telfler, and Lindsay Godfrey. So all information and tickets, you can check out StarstruckFanEvents.com.
And I won't say that yet. Okay.
Okay.
I will just say be on the lookout for an announcement of a Dishin Days event happening next year.
It'll be news to us too, I guess.
Michael Maddox, I told you this on your fourth mimosa when we met for brunch.
Okay, it's vaguely coming back to me.
See, ladies and gentlemen, you could see who the drinkers were. You can see who was putting it back.
Which, by the way, that brunch was great. Like we finally had a chance to meet.
What I remember of it was a lovely time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the cocktail hour afterwards.
It was multiple locations. It was.
And like a little old lady, I took a nap afterwards.
Lordy.
Yes. A lot of fun.
All right, you guys, it is now time for you to see what is coming up next week on your favorite soap opera, Days of Our Lives.
Tell me I'm not dreaming.
Hubby's finally home.
Let's go celebrate.
But his party
His wife cheated on him.
has a blooper.
I'm going to blow Eric and Nicole's marriage out of the water live.
Days of Our Lives.
Sam.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Sammy, you need to count your blessings. You need to count your blessings. You need to count your blessings. Just sit there and drink your drink.
You know, part of me is starting to think Sammy wants to get caught. She feels like maybe this'll free her. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know what she's thinking, like usual.
Sammy, leave it alone.
That's what I say.
Wrong good.
And Eric's back.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
Well, maybe.
It is definitely
He finally caught that
probably
flight. He finally caught the flight.
Finally. It is definitely all about to hit the fan.
Yeah.
So we shall see what's to come. But everyone, that has been our show and this week of days. But of course, before we head out, Michael Mattis, tell the council where they can find you.
Taking a nap after brunch. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at MLMattis.
Justin, where can they find you on your one social media platform?
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Justin Lee Hareld.
Araceli, your favorite social media platform?
I am on Twitter at Tia323 Araceli.
And of course, you guys can find us on all social media platforms. Dishin Days Show on Facebook, Dishin Days on Instagram, and _Dishin Days on the Twitter. You can also find us on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel right now and also give us a thumbs up. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast station, please like it and share it there. And of course, buy some merch. DishinDays.threadless.com, and you can find Little Old Chocolate Me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will be back next week for another full recap of your favorite NBC #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Until then, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you right here on Dishin Days. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good Sunday.